I mean, I know you're less of the philosophy, but do you think it's possible that previous life forms who had more of the ability to observe than we did, therefore knew more about the universe than us, and therefore were potentially more technologically advanced?
This speaks towards something called the Fermi Paradox.
Okay.
And the Fermi Paradox ties back into the question of, are we alone? If we're not alone, then we're probably not the first technological species to have developed in the universe. And because the rate of technological development is exponential, that's called Moore's law. You've probably heard of that one. Your computer gets faster than you can replace your computer, essentially. Right? Your 3-year-old computer is obsolete because technology develops so quickly, right?
My 7-year-old one's not too bad though. I think this one's
six or 7. Yeah. So because technology accelerates so quickly, why aren't there thousands and thousands of species that are visiting Earth? Right, so that's the Fermi paradox. And so some explanations are that as your technology increases, your capability of destroying yourself also increases.
Or maybe growth, you know.
Yeah. There may be a fundamental limit to the exploration of space, and that's the speed of light as well, of course.
Yeah.
But as we, so consider it's taken humans like 250,000 years to get to this point from living in caves, right? From branching off from the other Neanderthalic species. It's only been in the last 60 years that we've actually got to the moon. And it will probably be 100 years before we're on the surface of Mars. But that's a very short time span. And so the likelihood is in 250,000 years, where will the human race be, if it is still indeed the human race? Because it will, of course, evolve into something else.
That's likely to happen a lot quicker as well.
So if that happens to us, why hasn't that happened to other species? So why haven't they visited Earth? Well, so that's the Fermi paradox. Where are the intergalactic civilizations, right? So some explanations are they all destroy themselves before they get to explore space. Life is rare, so that there aren't space exploring species. We may be the first one. It's impossible to do. There is some fundamental limit that stops organic life from exploring space for any length of time.
My assumption,
or we are alone.
My assumptions are that they are to us, or we are to them, what microorganisms are to us, right?
Yeah, we're uninteresting. They haven't come here because we're boring. Yeah,
not even that, but potentially we could be coexisting because they're in a different. They're quantified in a different way, right?
Oh, okay.
In the same way that microorganisms are kind of bacteria around us, and things are like that. They could be, because you would assume, like as technology evolves, even for us, the human body will reach certain limits where we're going to have to change our form in order to be more efficient at doing some things. Right.
Well, space exploration is going to drive that.
Yeah, and so I'd assume that those beings, if they were more advanced, don't share the same kind of understanding of, like, we have quite a small world view or universal view. Just because we're stuck here. So in order to do things like even try to travel at light speed and things like that, what's that going to do to the human body? So we're going to have to change form, and I'd assume if they exist, that's how they exist.
We might not recognize it when we're looking at them. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
because it's a whole different ball game. But you never know. I mean, it's interesting. I asked it just to say that I don't know if you're aware, but like in ancient, like Aztecs, Egyptian times and things like that, there's ideas that aliens or something came, and that was like we are kind of part of an alien experiment. So I was just interested.
Well, it's the backpedaling from the Alien universe, right? From the film.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
There's some master race that dumped a bunch of black goo in the river in Scotland, and hey, here we are.
until we're doomed to complete the cycle, right? Because when
because
when
we develop crazy robots that really like to do experiments on humans, right? So
yeah.
yeah,
So, but yeah, I just thought that was kind of like what I'd asked about that stuff, because yeah, I
yeah, yeah.
guess